I want to go over the first derivative test, which tells us whether we are increasing or decreasing. So I am looking at this function, and to do the first derivative test, I am first merely going to take the first derivative. So I'm going to come down here, and I'm going to take the derivative, which gives me 6x squared, because 3 times 2 minus 2, this gives me 6x, and this is going to go away. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to set this equal to 0. Okay? And then this is going to tell me where my critical points are, where my change in inflection are. So let's see here. I'm going to pull out a 6x, which gives me x plus 1. So then x equals 0 and negative 1. These are my inflection points. If I wanted the graphing points, I would put them back in the original equations. So my graphing points, okay, so these are my critical points. These are where I change my slope. But if I want graphing points, I would have to put them up. So my graphing points here would be 0, negative 3, because I'd put in a 0. And if I put in negative 1, I'd get negative 2 plus 3 minus 3, which is negative 2. So I'd get negative 1, negative 2. Those would be my graphing points. But to do the first derivative test, I actually don't need that. I just need these 2 points, 0 and negative 1. And I'm going to take points between these on each side of these and put them into this equation, my first. So if I put in a negative 1 in here, I get, let's see here, 6 times negative 1 squared plus 6 times negative 1. This is going to be positive. So this is going to be 6 minus, hold on a second. I shouldn't be getting 0. Oh, because I just put in negative, because I put these in backwards. You probably wondered, why did you not put these in order? Well, because some days. Let's try that again. You know, I was testing you, seeing if you were paying attention. I figure y'all like to see me make mistakes. Okay. So let's see here. That's going to be 24 minus 12. So this is going to be positive. Then if I put in a number here, so I need like negative 1/2. So 6 negative 1/2 squared plus 6 times negative 1/2. So this is 6 times 1/4 minus 3. So this is going to be what? 6 halves, which is 3 halves. This is going to be like negative 1/2. So this is negative. And these should change because these are critical points. They're changing up and down. So then I'm going to put in a 1 over here. So I'm going to get 6 plus 6, which is 12. So now this is positive. So now when I go to look at this, what this means, and this is, I'm going to come down a little bit so I can do this. This means I was going up, okay? And then I'm peaking, and then I'm going down, and then I'm going up again. So this here is a max, okay? Because I'm going from, I was increasing, got to the top of the hill, I maxed, now I'm coasting down. Now I'm here at the bottom at 0, so negative 1 would be a max, where this would be a minimum. I've coasted down to the bottom, now I've got to start climbing back up to the top. And you can't see it here, but my hands are making the shapes as I go. And that's literally, my hands are making the shape. And so when I look at this graph, I might not know exactly what's going on here, but I know that I'm going up, down, and up, and this is my slope. And so then I know, and if I put in those points, so I just had those 2 graphing points. So what were my 2 graphing points? I had, this is 0, negative 3, right? And this was negative 1, negative 2. So when I go to graph that, that would help. And I can see that this is higher than this. Just because it's not a lot doesn't mean anything, because this probably on both ends is going to go, this is going to keep going positive, this is going to keep going negative. I'm not going to have an absolute max or min because they're going in 2 different directions. And if you remember, that was something the leading coefficient test back in algebra told you, and that you could certainly use here to help you out if you wanted to.